Good morning, church. It's good to be with you here today. And today we're going to be in Mark chapter 9. And Mark chapter 9 has a couple of my favorite encounters in it that I wanted to share with you. In Numbers today, we see some regulations between fathers of young women and husbands and how they relate to their daughters or their wives. And then we see God demand vengeance on the Midianites, the ones who enticed the Israelites into idolatry through intermarriage. And in that encounter, we see war, we see people being taken captive, and it really is just indicative of the times and how they were to operate. And if you have any questions on those things or want to go deeper into them, just let me know below and we can talk a little bit more about that. But what I really wanted to talk about today was, first off, the spirit that the disciples could not cast out. Jesus goes up to the mountain top. He is transfigured in front of his disciples' eyes. And Moses and Elijah come and talk to him, and the whole scene is incredibly overwhelming. The glory of Jesus completely revealed. And this scene just sets the stage for the movement forward now towards Jerusalem. So they have this perfect experience with Jesus, his godhood revealed, and then they come down the mountain. And it's right back into normal humanity. And his disciples who were left down are actually arguing with the guy about why the son couldn't be healed. I imagine them accusing him, you don't have enough faith. There's nothing, what's the matter with your kid that we can't do this? Trying to put the blame on him, and the dad coming back, well, you're supposed to be Jesus' disciples. Don't you have the power to do this? And just this very intense situation. And Jesus' response is, "You unbelieving generation, how long do I have to put up with you?" Isn't that intense? Just, he sees the squabbling, the failure of his disciples. He's just been glorified, and he lets out with frustration. He's frustrated that his disciples are not doing what they're supposed to. And then the man says, "But if you can do anything, have compassion on us and help us." Again, Jesus indignant, if you can, everything is possible to the one who believes. And here's my favorite line. Immediately the father of the boy cried out, "I do believe, help my unbelief." And that's the world I sit in most of the time. I do believe. Help my unbelief. When we read through the Old Testament and we read through the narratives of the wars and how 32,000 young women who'd never been with a man are taken captive, and just the sacrifices and the blood, and it's really so different. The world is so different in that era than ours. Sometimes you wonder, I just don't understand. But I come back to, I do believe, help my unbelief. God, I do believe that you're good and you're gracious and that you have always been that way. Please help my unbelief. In fact, there was a heretic, I was just reading about this yesterday, back in the 300s, who supposed that the difference was because the God of the Old Testament was actually an evil God, and Jesus came to show the way to worship the true God. And that was, of course, condemned as heresy. There's no break in the scriptures, no change in anything. And so we have this just this reminder that we are to just keep believing, just like Jesus told Jairus, just keep believing and your daughter will be saved. And so that's our task, and that's our work in this world, is to just keep believing, even when it seems hard or seems difficult. And maybe we just pray for each other towards that end, that we can express our faith well and hold on to what we have. Happy Saturday, church. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.